For those who can drift off to sleep within 8 seconds of laying their head on the pillow, how on earth do you manage to doze off so quickly? There was a brief stretch during college when I was younger and meditating. I would close my eyes and sort of let go. I recall a sense of letting my eyes sort of fall back rather than roll back. I would then sort of release into sleep. I remember moments where the sensation was almost startling, and I would jolt up. It was this sense of being half awake or something. Nonetheless, on various occasions it led to me immediately falling asleep. Can't do it anymore though. It wasn't 8 seconds, but it was definitely very fast. I used to struggle to fall asleep. When I quit consuming caffeine entirely. I have kids and sacrifice sleep time, so I can work while they are asleep, so I get to spend more of their day with them. By sleeping only 6 hours a night, I'm always tired. Now, I can nap anywhere and I fall asleep really fast, because I'm always a little tired. It sucks, but in another year or two my youngest will be in school all day and I can ramp up my sleep time. I'm out when I close my eyes, and if woken up, wife, cats, bathroom, etc. can go back asleep immediately. Occasionally, if I'm not out right away, I have a go-to mental video that will put me out. It's a simple first-person view playing basketball, and I'll switch from dribbling with my right hand behind a teammate's screen and cross back to my left and drive toward the basket. Just putting that in my head a few times and I'm out. Too many years of on-call. Can wake up super fast. And can likewise go to sleep super fast. E.g. ice problem, fix problem, confirm fixed, send an email that has been fixed, roll over and be sound asleep and dreaming again in less than 5 minutes total elapsed time. Possibly as little as 3 minutes. Years ago I started meditating when I wanted to sleep. I breathe in for 2 seconds and exhale for 2 seconds. Then do the same for 3 seconds. Then 4, and so on. It took some time, but now I can fall asleep very quickly without much effort. I work shift work and have to flip my sleeping schedule entirely twice a week. YMMV. But this technique works great for me. I have watched my wife fall asleep in about 30 seconds, standing up. I have a whole 1 hour plus routine that only works sometimes. She has slept through an earthquake, a fire in the building including fire alarm, 3 hail, and throughout raising every one of our children and grandkids. I envy her so much. Conditioning. I spent many hours training my brain and body to turn off under certain conditions, which is in part why I sleep like a corpse in a coffin. I also managed to learn how to sleep with my eyes open and standing, but fell out of practice in recent years. Physics for the crimes of well-known serial killers. I try to figure out how they got away with their crimes so long, and where did they go wrong to get caught, and how that could have been avoided. Having clear head, no thoughts at all, easier said than done. If you try to not think about anything, you wind up thinking about either something else or thinking about not thinking about anything. That and kinda being exhausted all the time. I take deep breaths, full inhales and exhales. Lie on my back, legs fully extended, everything relaxed. I don't count my breaths, but I rarely make it to 5, never 10. When I don't do this, I might lie in bed for a while before I fall asleep. I count my breathing in intervals of 10. Take slow breaths. Each exhale count 1. Do this until you reach 10. Then do it again. It's actually more difficult than you think. But by the time you reach 30 you start drifting off. I stay awake until I'm really sleepy. Then I fall asleep listening to a TV show. The TV show helps because my brain focuses on that instead of all the anxiety thoughts running around in my head like caffeinated hamsters. Not knowing when my next full night's uninterrupted sleep would come from allowed my body to gain the skill of falling asleep very quickly, which stayed with me even after I left that particular job. I put my phone down on either do not disturb or sleep mode, turn lights off, lie down, squint, tense shoulders, tense arms and legs, relax shoulders, relax arms and legs, Relax eyes. Good night. Learned it how to meditate when I was a teenager. It was part of a theater class I did. So not like some Buddhist retreat. Once you get good at it, you can just shut everything out and drift off anywhere. There's a Netflix show, Unwind Your Mind something other. It is one of those interactive shows. I play the sleep version, and no matter what setting I pick, I swear I'm gone within 3 minutes. Pretend like you are sleeping, like when you were a kid, or imagine you're an actor, and it has to be as real as possible. It's like you fool your mind, and you will be asleep in no time. I don't do this on purpose. In fact, it also comes by accident a lot of times. I will fall asleep in the train, or the bus if I'm not careful. Some sort of narcolepsy. You can't fix it. I get up at 4 a.m. and work out, then work all day, come home and cook, and go to bed with my kid at 8. I haven't stayed awake through a 21-minute episode of anything in years. I've got sleeping aids, primitive technology video playing, phone on chest and indirect light from the phone lightly shining through my eyelids. And I'm out like a light. I'm usually extremely sleepy by the time I make it to bed. I have to make sure I have enough energy to turn off the lights and not fall asleep on the couch or floor. I don't know. I lay off in a certain position and voila. Or I fall asleep out of nowhere when watching the TV. In both cases, I fall asleep because I'm tired. I found this app called Sleepist. They have meditations and other stories that seriously put me to sleep within 2 minutes. I only listen to the free ones. I work 12-hour shifts plus raising 2 kids, 3 if you count their dad, lol also. Lucky to get 4 to 6 hours of sleep if I can. Then there's stress and depression. I don't have ADHD. My ADHD partner, when undiagnosed, had been asking me this for years. Meds didn't change anything for my partner. And now they know why. Play a boring YouTube video without any screaming or loud noises, nature documentary or educational videos. It's like white noise for me to fall asleep to. I switch on Netflix or Hulu, selecting a familiar show I've watched countless times. Then, I turn my gaze away from the screen and drift off to sleep. I find it easy if you follow these steps. 1. Have 2 jobs. 2. Have a toddler. 3. Exist in a state of perpetual exhaustion. Point 4. No screens in bed. Utter exhaustion. On the flip side, I can only usually sleep for about 4 hours before I wake up again. Makes it hard to sleep a full night or day. Relax. Don't pressure yourself to sleep. Breathe deeply and evenly. Enjoy the peace of the night and the lack of demands upon your time. I'm absolutely fucking exhausted. I could lie on the floor right now and fall asleep. Work, kids, hobbies, exercise. I'm always tired. I usually don't doze off if I'm not that sleepy. I usually tend to stay awake until my eyes shut on its own, and it takes only seconds. Easy. I stay awake until I'm ready to pass out. Sure, I get less sleep, but then I'm not staring at the ceiling half the night either. Not 8 seconds. But I stay awake so long that I'm falling asleep at the desk, so when I lay down I don't have to cry myself to sleep. Regular exercise. All I need to do is take a few slow controlled breaths, pretend to be asleep, and then within minutes I am. Don't go to bed till I'm tired. Shower just before, pap on. History Extra podcast going in he musicozy. I'm out for 8 hours. I have an elaborate system of ropes and pulleys that lifts me up by my ankles and dangles me upside down until I pass out. In get down right stowed off my gourd and pass out. Just woke up 2 hours ago cause I definitely smoked too much before 7 p.m. Put on an 8-hour loop of ambient Star Trek sounds and pretend I'm comfy in bed on a starship warping through space. Having a full-on day with work, exercise and a small drink at the end of it helps. At least that's how I do it. I simply give myself permission to clear my brain of all thoughts. When I close my eyes, I simply drift off. Hydrocephalus. I strongly do not recommend it. I can sleep very quickly and always have been able to. Remain awake until you doze off on the couch, then stumble sleepily to bed upon waking up inevitably. Put the same audiobook on your phone, Same chapter. Low volume. Take some antihistamines. Dark room. Slow deep breathing. Try and roll my eyes upwards towards top of my head. Yes. Really. I'm perpetually exhausted too. And I'm not sleeping within 8 seconds. Rather 4. I like to imagine that op is desperately trying anything I'll end to go to sleep. It's really easy, you just have to put your head like this and then I'm tired. So tired. The secret is to have a child when you're 40. I lay my head on my pillow, and within 8 seconds I'm drifting away. The question should be, how does it feel to be God's favorites? Lots of exercise. No coffee after 4 p.m. and a consistent bedtime. It just kinda works up. I close my eyes and it's the next day. I read or watch in bed until I can barely hold my eyes open. The trick is a clean conscience. I got nothing to think about. I'm awake for 19 hours. So the body just embraces sleep. I take sleeping pills 20 minutes before I actually lay down. My concealed truth is that I'm perpetually exhausted. Do yard work early in the morning and exercise daily.